Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I was guided to do things a little bit differently today, and I have been thinking about this pick a card reading and the way that I'm going to do it for a while now, and Spirit has freed up some space for me to be able to do it today. So I'm really excited about the information that I'm feeling in these cards as I was laying them out in the different piles. And so what we're going to be focusing on is what the Divine Masculine is currently going through. And I am focusing on the Divine Masculine because the Divine Feminine is so aware of what she's going through and so connected in with her emotions and with her feelings and her intuition and like what she has going on in her realm and her field right now. But she's really disconnected, it feels like, from the depth of the Divine Masculine energy and her Divine Masculine. Now, we look at that as a relationship outside of ourselves, but I really want to challenge you guys to bring that back into yourself too and apply these messages to not only the external representation, the way that you see your Divine Masculine outside of you, if that's another person, but I also want you to bring it inside and look at this as a message to you from your Divine Masculine inside of you, so that the manifestations and the desires that you've been putting out there for action and movement and creating and doing can actually come to fruition from within you. That's the masculine energy. And it's like you're putting out all these desires and this inspiration and these desires, I keep hearing, and waiting impatiently for them to actually come into fruition. But there's some sort of blockage in the awareness of you and your Divine Masculine. There's some sort of disconnect between you and your Divine Masculine right now. So I just challenge you to bring that back inside again and not just watch this for information about someone outside of you, okay? But do both. So these piles are each designated with a different type of music and a different station that I'm going to put on my Pandora. The first one is Led Zeppelin. And I also challenge you I did a meditation ahead of time to ask Spirit what stations I needed to offer. And these are the ones that they gave me. All of these are near and dear to my heart in different ways, and they speak to me in different ways. But if you have never heard of them before, or if you don't feel a certain draw to them, I also have stones here that you can look at, and you can choose your pile according to the different crystal. And I also encourage you to expand your knowledge base and be a student and always want to learn. And if there's one that you're drawn to but you've never heard of them before or whatever, satisfy that curiosity and start listening to that music, because it feels like there is some sort of learning, some sort of message in the energy and vibration of that music that you weren't ever ready for before, and now it's being offered to you as a learning experience. So if there's someone here that you don't recognize but you feel drawn to it because of the cards or because of the crystal, maybe look up that music and start listening to that music too. You'll get additional messages from it. Okay? So as you focus on the cards, whether you want to press pause or whatever it is, I also want you to open yourself up to the Holy Fire Reiki and the Violet Flame energy that's present in this reading. I sat here for about 10 minutes ahead of time, sending it to the space, sending it to the cards, sending it to you. And so while you're considering and sitting in that stillness and listening, just set the intention to receive that beautiful energy as well. Okay? All right, I'll put the timestamps for each one of the piles in the comments and in the description box below, so you can skip ahead if you want to. If you're drawn to a couple different piles, I encourage you to listen to both of them, because there might be a combined message, a little bit in one and a little bit in another. for you to tune into and add together to put the pieces of the puzzle together. I'm also going to be doing an extended reading for each one of the piles. So we're going to initially look at what Spirit has to show us about where the Divine Masculine is right now, what he's currently going through. And then in the extended is going to be a personal message to you from that Divine Masculine specifically. Okay, so if you're interested in that, the link for those extended readings will also be in the box below. So go ahead and take your time and choose which pile you like. Pile 1, Led Zeppelin, and this is a malachite, which I really love for focus. I always use this for help in focusing. Ed Sheeran, and the stone is rainbow fluorite, which is one of my favorites ever. It's so soft but so powerful, especially in this pyramid form. I feel a lot of really, really saturated energy in this one. And this one is Elton John, pile 3, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. This is Elton John, and the stone is the green calcite, which is really beautiful. I love this one because it looks like a tower to me, or a mountain. If that means anything to you, you can even see the layers and all of it. So, all right, go ahead and pause your video if you need to and choose the one that stands out to you, and I'll be right back. Hey, pile 1. All right, so I've got Led Zeppelin on right now. Echo, what song is this? Echo, what song is this? This is Dazed and Confused by Zeppelin. So if you've never heard that song before, or even if you have, definitely go back and listen to it. And part of the message from Spirit is to feel the vibration in it and feel the energy in it. Sometimes the message is in the energy and not in the lyrics. And for some of you, there are messages in the lyrics as well. And so sometimes I will look up the lyrics, or I'll listen to the song, I'll look it up on YouTube with the lyrics, and reading the lyrics at the same time as feeling the music gives me an even deeper or different kind of message. So whatever resonates for you, use that as a tool for extracting even more message from this reading, okay? So this Divine Masculine, where is he currently? What's he currently going through? Oh, great exploration about where the lack comes from. And it's resulting in more abundance. But there's something else that is left to be discovered. So, vast universe. There's a lot that's opening up to him right now. There's a lot he's accessing very, very multi-dimensional energy and who he is, his higher self. And it's happening because of some sort of removal of energy in his life. That could be you. It could be that you guys are in separation, and it could be that recently you were in separation or experiencing the loss of a job. I may actually pull a clarifier for this one to get a little bit more information about it. But there's clearly some sort of energy that has left his life that's freed up space to access more of himself. It's like he needed space to get back in touch with his own energy, to learn about who he is, and to figure out where the lack comes from in order to take a new path. It's like he really is choosing a new timeline where he learns about abundance. He learns about how removing things actually increases things. How if you have, it's like cleaning out your closet and getting rid of things that you never use anymore. Removing things in order to feel more abundant. Shifting things in your life and getting rid of things, purging things in order to feel freer. And that freedom is actually more abundant. It's actually like you have less things, but you feel like you have even more things because you can appreciate the things that are there and stuff like that. So there's definitely some sort of something that's moved out of his life, and it feels like it could be in connection to you guys. Maybe this is a recent breakup or recently stopped talking to each other or whatever it is. It does feel like, though, that there's something he's not looking at. There's an aspect of this that he's not looking at. That part of the lack was coming from I'm having deja vu right now as I'm saying it too. Not appreciating others' perspectives. That he kind of clamps down a little bit on his own need to be right, and it's stopping him from seeing other people's perspectives. It comes from a place of insecurity. It also, obviously he's looking at jewels and he's checking out the beauty of these jewels, and in connection with sitting right next to this increase card, which has all of these jewels all over it and everything. Hey baby, pretty baby, they're saying on the song right now. It's been so long since I found out what people mean by down and out. Not realizing the beauty of, that's what he's trying to discover right now. He's had this resistance to feeling down and out, or to being in a situation that people look at as, being in a lower energy, or being sad, or being missing you, or whatever it is. He wasn't seeing the value in missing you, or the things have been removed from his life that had kind of toxic elements around it. But when you strip away all those toxic elements, which he's doing by removing whatever this is from his life, he's realizing how much he really appreciates all of the other aspects of that underneath of the toxicity. And it's helping him to gain a better perspective, but he is still working on seeing it from another perspective, and really appreciating the shadow energies, appreciating the struggles and the challenges that came up and existed in his life because of whatever energy was removed. That it needed to be removed in order for him to see how much growth there was in those challenges and lessons. You were showing him a lesson in his life that he was unwilling to see before. And it feels like he's still a little bit unwilling to see it. He just hasn't accessed that part of himself. He's like way out in the ethers. He's like very, very spiritual, very, very higher perspective, very spiritually bypassing just a little bit. There's a part of his human aspect and his feelings that he hasn't quite gotten to just yet. But he will. It's connected to this increase card, so I have a feeling that he will. I think he's going to see that the more that he allows himself to just be wherever he is and find the value in expressing the depth of his emotions is really going to help to, he's going to see how plentiful that makes his life, and just being honest with who he is and where he is, whenever he is really going to help. He's not quite there yet, though, but he's being led to that. He is being led. It's getting there. I'm going to get a clarifier for this decrease card. Can you give me a little bit more detail about what it is that has been removed from his life, or what space has been made? Something making him very defensive. Inner battle, this kind of resentment energy, fear of faith, King of Pentacles. It's like distorted masculine energy. If you, the feminine, are in wounded feminine because of fear, because you're trying to hold on too tight, because you want him to be a certain way, or he's resisting and you can feel him resisting and you just want him to be in his highest energy and blah, blah, blah. And you're trying to help him grow and he's not quite ready to grow, but there's this forceful kind of energy. It creates this resistance and mirrors the fear that you have in your own heart, and that fear scares him. And so he's not able to do anything about it. Other people's fear is really hard for him, and he's very defensive about it, because a lot of times other people's fear turns into projection, because people are not aware enough of themselves and they want to place it on others. And he it feels like has been kind of a punching bag for other people's rejection and fear and projection. And so it makes him project back out again. It's this vicious cycle. And again, this is like the cycle card here. It's this vicious cycle. And he's wanting to end that cycle. He doesn't want to be the punching bag anymore. He doesn't want to be, he's really defensive against energies that are projecting at him. The problem is that perspective, he's having a hard time taking responsibility for the ways that he projects too. That's what he's working on right now. And so it's like this inner battle and this fear of just trusting the universe. And he wants so bad to trust the universe, but there's a lot of times where he tries to make that happen. And so do you and whoever else, whatever else he's removed from his life. It's distorted masculine energy that he's removing from his life, which looks like, so when you show up as wounded feminine and in fear and holding on and whatever it is, there's this emotional kind of addiction almost. It shows up and is reflected as distorted masculine energy. You show up as distorted masculine because you are trying to protect yourself and protect yourself from the old wounds that are speaking to you and are in your mind being recreated subconsciously. So yeah, it's like distorted masculine energy and trying to force anything to happen. Anything that feels like it needs to be forced, that's what he's removing from his life. Anything that doesn't feel like ease. And that's helping to increase the abundance and the flow and the ease. And that's going to lead to appreciating another perspective and appreciating, it's like contrast. You have to know what you don't want in order to know what you do want. And he doesn't want it to feel so hard all the time. And he definitely doesn't want to feel like he needs to protect himself all the time. So if he was feeling like he needed to protect himself from your projections or from whoever else it was, from his boss, or, this could be it could be between you guys. It could just be reflected in many areas in his life. He doesn't want to have to defend himself from that anymore. He wants to feel safe to be vulnerable. He wants to feel safe to be vulnerable. Now, that's not all about you. It's about the fact that it's coming from within him too. You're a mirror to the pain that's inside of him. You're a mirror to those old stories inside of his mind too, that recreate this and draw that into his life. By setting those boundaries and removing anything from his life that feels that way, he's going to see. And if those energies come back into his realm, which it feels like if he's not willing to look at the beauty and the lesson and, wants to project it on you or whoever else it is, that it was your fault, it was your traumas, it was your distortions or your defensiveness, your fear that was causing all of this in his life, it's going to take him a little bit longer. He does have this really sturdy stubbornness to look at the lesson and to bring that back inside himself. He is a little bit of needs to take responsibility for the pain and defensive-ness that was inside his heart to begin with. It's pretty deep down. Going to the depths is not easy for him, and so. But he's getting there. He's working on it. Removing the forcefulness of, here, go to these depths. You have to meet me there. That's where I am. That's where I'm used to going, and blah, blah, blah. The forcefulness from you that you're used to being down there. That's where you thrive. That's where you grow. That's where you, are in your element. So he's not quite like that. He has to get there when he's ready. And he will. He will. He's just not ready right now because of this defensiveness, because he's defensive against being forced to do what he doesn't want to do. And that comes from childhood, too. He doesn't want to do what he doesn't want to do. And neither do you, okay? Take this back on the inside and apply it to yourself in your own life, in your own inner masculine, okay? How does this apply to you? You're starting to remove things in your life, and you need to come to terms with the fact that it's okay for you to not want to do things that you don't want to do, okay? Start doing more of the things that you want to do. Don't cut out this, don't just go up and quit your job and then do this thing over here because that feels so much better. Give yourself the grounded allow yourself to view this situation as giving you the opportunity and the space and the money or whatever to develop these things that are beautiful and passionate and these things that you love to do. You're going to this job and you're doing these things that you don't want to do in order to do more of the things that you want to do. So give yourself a little bit of space, little bit of space, little bit of space here and there, but maintain the energy of the things that you do want to do more on a regular basis. Go out and do something now. Focus on what makes you happy. What makes you happy? Having the space where you're not focusing your energy on him and someone outside of you. Start focusing on you, and it's going to open up opportunities to do more of what you love. And that is going to help bring in more flow and help you to remove yourself from having to do all the things that you don't want to do. I don't want to be told what to do. Okay, what do you want to do then? What do you want to do? Start doing more of that in little tiny ways. You don't be impatient with, I want to be immersed in it completely and in the depths of all of that stuff that I want to do like right now, because you get yourself stuck in that depth and then the 3D doesn't reflect that right away. You have to have some patience as it manifests. Do little bits at a time and have it be a little bit more measured, okay? That impatientness is based off of need and a little bit of an addictive tendency, okay? He's helping us to know that. Surrender frustration. Let go of your hold. Let go of holding on so tight, because this has such a purpose in your life and in his. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. Just know that you're exactly where you need to be right now. He's exactly where you need to be right now. And if the fact that he has a hard time looking at another perspective is frustrating for you, turn it around this way. And instead of keeping your attention on him and what he's doing or not doing, shift your focus over here and look ahead to all of this open space over here for you. Okay? Surrender the frustration, because it just creates even more resistance. You're just tuning into the resistance that he has right there too. He's frustrated about feeling resistant, about feeling defensive. He needs his own space to figure that out on his own, in his own time, and to just accept where he is right now. Okay? He's not going at the same pace that you are, and you're not going at the same pace as he is. There's other things that you need to be looking at right now that you don't realize are blocking you. This is a gift. Okay? Surrender the frustration. All right, guys, I'm going to go on and do an extended reading with a personal message from this Divine Masculine. We've got this. This is the Tarot of the Abyss, Tarot deck. And I don't know why I needed to show you. Some of you really love reading cards, and there's something about the black and white that you needed to know. But this is a personal message from this Divine Masculine to you. We're going to do that in the extended reading. The link for that is down in the box below. If you're not moving on, just sending you so much love and light and support. If you want your own personal reading, if you want to dig more deeply into the message meant for you here, book a private reading with me. Again, all the information for that is down in the box below. I love you. See you soon. Pile 2, my Ed Sheeran pile, my Rainbow Fluorite pile. The song that came on first is Shivers. Shivers. If you don't know the song, I love it when you do it like that. Echo, turn it down. Echo, turn it down. I love it when you do it like that. You give me shivers. Of course, it's too low now. Echo, turn it up. Echo, turn it up. Just listening. There's like such good energy in this song. The energy of this masculine feels very upbeat, very positive. Not positive, because I hate the term positive and negative. It's very high vibration. It's movement. It's alignment. It feels very aligned right now. Feels good. Feels bright. Flirty. It feels very flirty. Ooh. I want to be that guy. Kiss you right. It's very passionate. Very like, I know what I want. I really want that, that deep, passionate connection. He's tuning into that for himself right now. Look up the lyrics if you feel guided to do that. And listen to the song too. Spirit is really emphasizing listening to the music, just letting the music move you, whether it's the words or not the words. For some of you, it's both. Some of you, it's just lyrics. But for others of you, just the message sometimes is in the vibration and the way that the music moves you. There's something that he's being moved by right now. All right. Echo. Never mind. I can't turn it down because I can't hear it. Of course, it turned off again. Echo, resume play. Echo, resume play. I love it when you do it like that. I love it when you tune into the music. I love it when you are moving. I love the way you move. That's what he's saying. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. He's really learning about his heart right now. He's really tuning into the light inside his heart. Look at the way it's shining from the inside out. There's no place like home. He's really rooting and settling into his home. And what that does for him, how being in his heart and allowing himself to be in his heart helps him to move forward, to connect with other people, to get a leg up in the world, and to understand the world in a different way. Now, they're reminding me that this one came out, I wasn't going to do reversals, but this one came out in reverse too. So it feels like I kind of need to do both. Like he's back and forth. He's really sometimes scared to stay in his heart because it's very vulnerable, and he has this back and forth, in and out kind of energy. I just heard like my mom saying, in or out, like we'd stand there right at the back door with the door hanging open and, let the bugs in or let the heat out or whatever. She would say, in or out. Decide which you're going to be. There's this in or out energy. There's warmth on the inside and there's coldness on the outside, and both are kind of exhilarating, but both are kind of annoying at the same time sometimes. He's really learning how to allow himself to flow between both and getting a feel for where this just balancing act of both, and he wants to be in his heart, in his warmth more often, but he needs to learn how to do that on the outside too, and not just being totally comfortable with himself and trusting himself and being completely open to who he is on his own, but also that being reflected on the outside. So he has this in and out where he's expressed it and he's been totally in his heart space, and it has not helped to move him forward, that it's actually created resistance in his life, or these are old patterns that are showing up and it has to do with the fear of being vulnerable and not being confident enough in himself to realize that the reflections of that, or the resistance that was purposeful too, that it was just showing him the contrast. It creates fear though. So when he is in it and it's helping him to move forward, it's a little bit confusing, like when to be vulnerable, when not to be vulnerable, when it's okay, when it's not okay. He wants to be in that all the time, but he wants to be able to understand boundaries and stuff too. That's what he's learning right now. The things that when he's in his heart and when he's vulnerable and when he's open and emotional and expressing himself, the times when that creates resistance. He's learning to witness that from within himself. He's learning to witness that he's open. His heart is wide open right now and he's feeling this resistance. So there must be some sort of pain in his heart that's showing its face right now. And he's learning to not resist that side of it, and also not to force and explain himself or prove himself. It really is just about witnessing himself and not projecting on other people, or, it's taking responsibility for himself. this back and forth is like this exploration process about what feels good and how to be in a vulnerable place but have boundaries at the same time. He's learning that right now. Okay? And you see, that's more of this, being balanced. More of a balance. More of a collaborative relationship with the universe, to be fair. He's trying to be fair to himself and others at the same time, but not sacrificing his own integrity, is what I hear. This is number 11 card, too. I want to remember how you kiss me underneath the lamppost. So he's back and forth between tuning into his connection with you, the divine feminine, and trying to understand the balance between feeling your connection, feeling inspired, feeling all the emotions, allowing himself to feel all of the emotion. And he's trying to be fair to everyone in his life, and he's trying to balance how he was always trying to balance everybody's energies all his life. He's learning how to focus on himself and others at the same time, but not allowing others' opinions to supersede his and to come on now, follow my lead. Let's not talk too much. He's trying to understand how to be fair to himself and to other people at the same time. And he's really establishing a connection with the universe more and allowing things to be as they are meant to be, even if it doesn't feel right, even if it doesn't feel good. He's trying to understand how he manifested that situation. Where is that coming from? Is it out of his hands, or, it's accepting that he and the universe, he and his inner being are creating this situation, and he's created it from a subconscious place. And so he's trying to connect with bringing his power back into himself. Really, it's like this is the Fates card, leaving everything and trusting that a higher power is at work here, but at the same time recognizing that he is that higher power. If he's in a place of complete open-heartedness and it creates resistance or mirrors resistance in another person or in you or whatever, he's realizing that that's a mirror of something inside of him, that there's fear in his heart about being vulnerable and trying to be fair to other people and not projecting it. Being fair feels like there's some sort of balance that's happening here too, where he wants to be fair to you and bring the responsibility of his manifestations back on himself. This has nothing to do with you. Okay? Whatever it is that's going on between you guys has nothing to do with you. It has to do with his growth. And no matter how much he projected, no matter how much he continues to project, his higher self really is saying, to be fair, you both contributed to this, and you have work that you need to be doing. But the work that he's doing and the work that he's guided to be doing right now is, you're not to blame. No one is to blame for what's going on. You both have manifested this place right now. So really tune into your power in order to be able to do that. That's what he's doing right now. And trusting, just trusting. He really is in a place of trust right now as he navigates this little bit of unsteadiness with how to move forward and how to apply his open heart to the world around him while still having the proper boundaries. And, it's not your fault, but the way that you reacted is a mirror of something from his past, and he chooses not to perpetuate that pattern anymore. So the only thing that he can do is control himself and his own energy. And so if cutting off that behavior, creating a boundary in his life is saying, I don't want you to mirror that to me anymore. he also at the same time has to take that into himself and say, okay, she was mirroring it. It wasn't about her. I'm not putting the responsibility on her. I'm just saying I don't want that mirrored anymore. I'm going to look at that for myself and see where that comes from inside of me. As long as he keeps doing that work, things are going to balance out. And it's a process of taking his power back. Surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. He's tuning into his feminine energy and allowing himself to flow and to be connected to the universe around him, to tune into his intuition. And there's so much, it's like a direct message from him, from Spirit, about the divine masculine energy that we're talking about here. Turn this back on you, on the inside. Okay, this divine masculine is inside of you. So this knowing that, oh, I do that sometimes. Or, oh yeah, I do that. Yes, I've been blaming him. I've been blaming him for so much of this. You can create boundaries and say, I don't accept that kind of behavior in my life, and stand behind those boundaries, but at the same time, take the responsibility off of them again and bring it back into yourself and know that they are just an actor in your play. You're projecting something from inside of you so that you can see it now, so it's not in your subconscious anymore. Thank them for being the mirror of that. Take the responsibility off of them to mirror that from you by cutting off, communication or whatever it is. And this could be reflected in your relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a work relationship, whatever it is. It's that masculine inside of you that takes the action and says, no more. This is not working. We're trying too hard. It doesn't feel right. And that behavior from you is just not okay anymore. It never was okay, but I'm not accepting it anymore. And then turn around and say, where did that behavior come from inside of me? Where does that pattern come from? Because it's not about them. It's about me. And if you don't look at that inside of yourself and become and take responsibility and ownership for that and really allow yourself to be present in that, this is a part of you right now. If it's a pattern that you would like to change or shift into and expand out of, and you don't want this behavior to keep showing up again and again and again, look inside of yourself. Where is that coming? It's speaking to you. It's a really beautiful aspect of you that's speaking to you about something that you don't want to continue anymore because you're ready to expand. You're ready to grow. You're ready for more. You deserve a shift. You deserve something else. Okay? So tune into that part of your intuition that's speaking to you. The divine masculine in you that's speaking to you. Okay? All right. In the extended, I'm going to give you a personal, solar plexus clearing. Personal message from this divine masculine to you. The song that's on right now is already a message. Place your head on my beating heart. Thinking out loud. Baby, we found love right where we are. Okay, that's part of the message for you from this masculine. If you're interested in the extended, if you want to hear more about what it is that he has to say, the link for that is down in the box below. If you want a personal reading and get more specific with your divine masculine or what it is that you need to be looking at within yourself, if it's hard for you to see the connection there, book a private reading with me. Again, all the information for that is down in the box below. And I'll see you guys soon. Hello, pile 3. Hello, my Elton John and green calcite pile. If you guys don't know many Elton John songs, I'm sure you've heard of them. Most people on the earth have heard of Elton John. But if you don't really listen to his music very much, you may want to just kind of tune into some of the songs, especially the ones that I point out here today, because there may be something more in the lyrics themselves, but also Spirit has been really emphasizing listening to the music and getting a message, listening with your heart and getting a message through what feelings it elicits. The message is in the vibration and the music itself, not always the lyrics. Sometimes both. Sometimes for some of you, you really absorb things and you feel the song in that way, but you might need to look up the lyrics and read the lyrics at the same time. That may give you a deeper aspect of the message that you're needing. So whatever resonates for you in that way, okay? Let me listen real quick and just hear what song is on. And you can tell everybody, this is your song. Maybe quite simple, but this is a very dreamy divine masculine. Loves love. I hope you don't mind that I put down in words. He's a writer. It feels like he's a writer. How wonderful life is while you're in the world. And this is like a champion. This guy's a champion of you. He really appreciates the feminine energy. It feels like he's in feminine energy a lot of the time, but he's really tuned into his heart and is very dreamy. He's dreamy. Feels like he's calling out to you right now. He's calling in his mate. He's calling in his tribe. He's calling to you. He's been through a lot. There's so much that he's going through right now. Feels like he's going through a lot. He's calling out to you to say, I love you. I really love you. Just hold tight. You being in this world is what's driving me. It's what's helping me to move forward. Just knowing that you're out there. Just knowing that you're out there is helping me to grow and to expand and to get through what it is that I'm going through right now. He's going through something. He's definitely going through something. It could be a breakup. It could be a job change. It could be moving. It feels like for some of them they're moving or they're moving out of their house. They're moving out of their relationship. They're moving to a new job. They're moving to a new city. There's some kind of big change that's happening, and he knows that so much has happened in order to expand into this place, and that it's a good thing, but it's a backbreaking thing. It's like a lot of work. He's moving through a really tough time. He's having a tough time, but it's like this guy is so positive. He just loves love. He believes in love so much, and he knows that he's headed towards a deeper love, a more bold love, a more sturdy, grounded love that isn't based on need, that has a more measured and very earthy, this is very soulmate vibe. Like, getting through this tough time right now, he knows is going to lead to ease and a mature connection. A mature connection to a mature woman. And you inspire him. Love inspires him. When he thinks of you, it's like his dream woman, the fairy tale, but in a realistic way. It's like he believes in love and he knows that it exists. That it's not a fairy tale. It's the energy of that beautiful chemical connection, physical connection, spiritual connection that does exist. He believes in love, and he believes that he doesn't want to settle anymore, that he's been settling. It's like he's noticed that he's settled, and it's time to pick up his home. It's time to take his heart and to move it to a place. And it feels like he's kind of moving backwards a little bit. It may be that this is someone that you knew from the past, or if it's a past life connection or something like that. But the energy of this movement is kind of going back into, it's kind of outside of time. So it definitely feels like a very, very divinely guided soul connection. Could be definite, like past life vibes, or it's just this familiarity that feels so content and very warm and very connected. The depth of connection, physical connection. It's like he's moving almost without realizing to be closer to you. He's moving closer to you in the physical, also energetically. But but he's inspired by what he feels when he thinks of you and thinks about a divine connection, a divine love. He does this from a place inside of himself. He knows that he deserves these things. So if this love that he feels inside of himself, and this, he's on a quest to find that, it's like the Knights of the Round Table, like Guinevere and Lancelot. It's like this, I don't want to settle for anything less than really fucking amazing and powerful and grounded and mature and real, but real, really real, anchoring that. That inside of him is inspiring him to pursue that as a job too. Like he wants true love, and he believes in what he knows how to do best, and he believes that there's this dream job for him, and he's manifesting that. He's making moves towards that. It feels like some of them are actually moving. And here, it's these new beginnings too. Like something new is opening up. There's a doorway that's opening up. Closing the door to moving away from the heavy situation that he's in right now, and getting back to basics, getting back to what it is that he was pursuing before, like believing in the fairy tale, but for real, that it really does exist, is helping to open up this gateway here. He's got to go back, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. He's in the middle of this 1 step back just now in order to really get back to basics and reestablish the foundation of who he is, in order to move forward into this new beginning. Don't let the sun go down on me. Although I search myself, it's always someone else I see. Just allow a fragment of my life to wander free. There's emotional addiction and connection. The way that he believed in love before was connected to emotional addiction. And so love meant just like really powerful, magnetic, obsessive energy. And the song is about like addiction and stuff like that. So it's like that's what he's closing the door on. There's someone connected to him in his life that's mirroring an emotional addiction inside of him. He before had an emotional addiction to he can feel the energy of true love, that fairy tale love. But he would look at the potential of that in other people and connect the need to have that here in person, to really believe that it does exist, and attach that to the wrong people and try to force it to happen with the wrong people. That's the burden that he's putting down now, the addiction to that. He believes it in his heart, and he has this faith that the growth and the understanding that I believe in this, and I'm not going to stop until it is here, and I'm not going to ignore the red flags. I'm not going to try to place it. I'm not going to be impatient. I'm not going to try to place it on other people. I'm really picking up my home and my heart and what I know that I deserve in my heart and what I believe in, and I'm taking that and I am surrounding myself with people who believe that. He's cleaning up a little bit of a mess right now, though, and calling out to you and just saying, I have so much love to give, and I don't want to give it to anybody else but you, wherever you are. And he's just letting himself be guided by the draw of that knowing inside of him. They're like portal. It's in this portal. It's the number 2 card too. So they're reminding me about this portal, this portal time period February 2nd to the 22nd. This is 21. So it feels like timing wise, this growth and this expansion and the weight that he's putting down, the momentum of it has already started. That door has already opened, but it's like he's facing backwards right now. So he's in the process of taking care of this and moving. I feel like he's in the middle of moving. For some of you guys, he's actually moving. But he's picking up and shifting his whole world right now. So just be patient with that. This is like the 21st. So it could be that action, he's working on creating that action and taking this step throughout this month, this time period. Right? This adds up to the number 3 also. So it could be that you start to see or feel the reflection or the energy of this ripple out to you in your physical environment in some way here in going into March. Like, I feel like whether you've met this person or not, you're going to start getting glimpses of him, like the archetype that he is, like the same image of him. This I keep seeing this guy, and it was a different person, but they all look the same. It's this, it's this long hair and beard, or bald head and bald head and completely shaven face, or clean cut, or this brown eyes and brown hair, or cowboy hat, or dark hair and blue eyes and whatever. It's like I keep seeing the same person over and over and over again, and you're just getting like the energy of him dropping into your space, because energetically he's moving closer and closer into your field. And so what that's reflecting is the fact that you are coming more and more into who you are and leaning into your beliefs and understanding what you believe about love and how you show up for yourself. And it really is about anchoring into, this is not about you moving. It's about you sitting still and being anchored and settled where you are. It's like he's coming to you. And this is about you. It's like he's coming to you. This is you settling into your world, into your environment, putting down your roots and creating connections in your environment with friends, with people in your neighborhood, with support groups, or, I'm looking for like Reiki groups and stuff like that, and metaphysical stores and blah, blah, blah. It's like the more you anchor in, the more that you root down and really ground yourself into where you are and who you are. You are where you are right now because you're supposed to be there for some reason. And he feels the call of that. It's like he's picked up his entire world and is bringing that over to where you have rooted yourself. So receiving, you getting into the receiving mode, that's what you're doing right now. You're getting ready to be ready to be ready. And solar plexus clearing right now. So getting into the energy of deserving this. For a lot of you, this is very close. This is, May. This is March. This is the energy, the doorway of this is opening up in February. If you have felt movement happening in your life, or have had massive things shift and change, and you've had the just really, really tough time and a big change that you're going through right now, just know that this is for you, that this is happening, that it's not just about someone else moving into your field. It's the energy of divine masculine being anchored into you, and you creating a really stable foundation for yourself, and movement and abundance and just confident, measured success and movement forward. It's a really grounded energy for you. And a happy result of that is the match to that, and your partner that you're supposed to be partnering with and doing this journey with will just show up one day to reflect that to you. And it's in the process of making its way to you right now. Okay, so for you, bring this all back inside. This is all about you. Really fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with yourself. Believe in love. Believe in yourself. Believe in who you are. Believe you're exactly where you need to be for all the things that you've ever wanted. Surrender to non-action. That's what I was talking about, Hill. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. Anchor in. Really. Get into your feminine. Connect with the earth. Connect with Mother Gaia. Get outside and be. Just be. Be in the sun. Absorb those codes. Focus on your receptive mode. Allow abundance and flow and your divine connection, and allow your worth to just be in who you are in every single moment, and allow the reflection of that to come to you. Okay? It's calling to you. It's literally calling to you. You deserve it. You're a queen. Wolf is another, wolf spirit is showing up. You may want to look up the properties of that, the characteristics of wolf spirit. I'm not the man they think I am at home. I'm a rocket man. Much more than that. Rocket man burning out his fuse up here alone. He's moving to a place where he can be him. Okay? All right. I'm going to give you a private message from this divine masculine, specifically a message directly from him. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to do an extended reading. The link for that is down in the box below. I feel like this is part of the message too. Surrender to non-action. It's like, I'm coming. You're in the middle of doing the work that you need to do to anchor in yourself and get into receptive mode. So work on that masculine inside of you and receive this message as essential to who you are and anchoring in. And he's coming. The action is going to come when you sit still. The knowing, the inspired action is going to come when you sit still and you connect with your feminine. Okay? So again, the link for that is down in the box below. If you guys are not moving on, I just want to thank you for being here with me and for trying out this new pick a card pile, this new way of doing it for me. If you want to dig into this and you want a message from your divine masculine specifically, or if you want to dig into how to go about doing this, how to anchor in, how to get into receptive mode, how do I open up to that? How do I just be? How can I just sit still and receive? Book a private session with me and we'll dig into that. For a lot of you, it's about exploring your intuitive gifts, which I also help you do. I do private one-on-one card reading lessons or energy reading lessons if you're interested in that. And just, I help with your soul growth. So all of that information is down in the box below. If you're going on to the extended reading, click on that and I'll see you guys over there. Love you.